everyone. It's Diesel Donow here. Welcome to Inside the Mind of Diesel Donow. And, shout out to the guys, uh, the team for allowing me to be on this platform, allowing us to have a chance to go inside the mindset of, the characters. And it's not just inside my mind, it's also inside the minds of muses and taking us into different muses of mine and different inspiration, and diving into people's mindsets, people's uh, introspections. What drives them, what motivates them, and that's like something that always been like something like very key to me. Like, how could we get inside people's mindset? How do we understand people's DNA? And I don't mean like this DNA scientifically. I mean like, why you work out, why you do certain workouts, why you train at this time, why do you, like these type of exercises. Why did you write this book? What made you write the book? What made you go this way? What made you do whatever it is that made you do whatever you did? I feel like that's important to go inside, other people's minds, in my mind as well. And we're bringing a different perspective here, bringing a different element to um, you know this type of like lifestyle. Like, everyone talks about lifestyle and all that stuff, but what's inside that lifestyle? What's inside the makings? What's like behind the scenes? What's your inner self look like? So, in this type of show, this type of um, you know creativity that we're bringing is to show that type of introspection of mindset. What it takes to be successful. We'll probably have a few guests here from time to time. Like I said, going to different mindsets and stuff like that. So today I'm just going to talk about some of my favorite people, like, that I grew into liking, grew into being inspired by, grew to be connected to. So let's start with um, my mom and my dad. They weren't together, of course. I think a lot, well, not all you know that, but people that know me knows that. But let's like break it down. My mom, inside her mindset, I got to always be diversified, be creative with diversity, be able to do things like, for example, like be able to dribble right to left-handed, be able to do more on a basketball court. She always talked about, you need to be able to do more. You need to be able to have a diverse skill set. So my mom taught me a lot about diverse skill set, and um, my dad taught me a lot about just going to work. He's real good at just going to work, and just always being disciplined in terms of going to work. He's really good at he shows up to go to work every day. That dedication, whether, you feel like you're not, you got to get up and, if you're signed up that day, you got to go to work and provide for your family. So that's something I met. I'm sure he goes through days where he complained and all that. So, those are the two that I start with. My mom, like I said, also like her mindset is very like, always a way to be made, always a way that she can find a way for it to be done, a way for creativity to take place, a way for um, things always just happen for her. So I learned that from my mom. So before we get even deeper into this first episode, I want to do a little bit of breathing and a little bit of meditation. So today we're going to start with what I call left to right breathing. Shout out to my mentor, my muse, Tom Gillette, taught me left to right breathing, and it really changed my life. Just being dedicated to a practice every single day at 5:55 a.m. in his words, and we go in class and just take it over. So anyway, when I start the left to right breathing, we want to start. What Tom always have us do is we take an inhale, and then we're gonna move the breath around. Swirl it around, swirl. Just keep the breath suspended. We're not holding the breath, we just moving the breath around. So when I ask you guys to do that, just move the breath around and then release. You don't want to hold it too long. You can go. So we're going to do that again. So keep your eyes closed. Inhale in. Inhale a little bit more. Inhale a little bit more. And now I want you to swirl it around. Get it around the shoulders. Get it around the body. Get it around different part of your neck. And don't hold it forever. Let it go. One more time. Inhale in. A little bit more. Swirl it around. Move it around the body. Let it go. So we're going to do Kapalabhati. So you're going to bring your belly in. This is good for abdominal workout as well, because you're using the breath to pulling your stomach, pulling your abs. And when we do it, we're going to go Kapalabhati, left to right breathing. So I'm going to start with my right hand. Let it go. Take a deep breath in. A little bit more. Swirl it around. Let it go. Take a deep inhale at the end. Let it go. Left hand out. Let it go. Inhale in. Like you're taking sips of breath. Sip in. Another sip. Suspend it. Don't hold it. Just keep it right there. Release. Take a deep inhale. Release. So if you want to bring your fingers like this, we're going to plug, inhale through your one side of your nostril. Plug it. Exhale to this one. Inhale in. Plug. Exhale. So we're just going to do that for a couple moments. Inhale in. Let go of the stress. Let it all go. Let it go. Now I just want you to close your eyes. Keep your eyes closed. Just focus on our breath. Focus on your breath. Focus on this present moment. Come back to the breath. Begin to bring some sensation back to your body. Move your feet around, move your hands, and open your eyes. So when we start off, with a sense of mindfulness and a sense of direction in our episode, this gives us a chance to just get centered, bring everything back to the equanimity and balance. So it's very important that we always, begin our day with some type of mindfulness practice. And I just took you through a little brief segment of, what I do. Normally it's a much longer, extensive time, but, I basically took you through like a little rundown, except for the yoga and some other things I do. So, in this class today, I'm setting attention on just introducing you to my mindset, introducing you to the mindset of, in my mind, and give a chance for people to understand, different philosophies, different things that you can implement into your own regimen and your own game that can bring some balance, bring some equanimity, bring some inspiration into, your purpose, to your drive. As I stated in my Instagram yesterday, if for all those that follow me, Diesel Donow is the Instagram. I talked about a lot of, I talked about, yesterday, mindfulness, um, assumption, manifestation. Talk about all types of things. And again, I started off the show giving you a little description of, my parents, my mom and my dad, what I learned from them. But as I've grown, and at this stage, and today we're going to talk about what I learned from Neville Godard. And I'm pretty sure a lot of you know who Neville is. If you don't, he has extensive work on YouTube, uh, books, that you can pick up, look up. Feeling is a secret, and this particular message is the law, and he talks about the law and what he learned from Abdul. Abdul uh, shared with Neville, imagination, and feeling the wish desired. So whatever you want to bring about into your experience, all starts right in this mind, this nugget. So that's why the show Inside the Mind of Diesel. So today we're going to introduce it, kick it off with Neville Godard. Man, I love this story. I shared it so many times. I shared it with our guys, Two Little Farts and Dave and Steve. They know all about it. I taught them about the story. I told them about this story. So my guy Neville, back in 1933, it was the Great Depression, I believe, or Depression times in New York City, and he was a dancer. And at the time, who would pay to see a dancer, perform if you didn't have money for food and clothes and all those different things in New York City? So he's talking about, that experience of the Great Depression, and he introduced that. And, he lived in New York for about 12, 13 years, 11, 12, 13 years. And, he had a burning desire to go back home, which his home was in, Barbados. So the Virgin Islands, south of New York. I believe southeast, if you look at it map in the map, schematics is southeast, right over there in the Caribbeans, somewhere over there, St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, that area. So anyway, Neville was wanting to go home because he had a burning desire to go home. And he said this is the first time he had a burning desire to go home. And so he met up with his friend Abdul, and he asked Abdul, he told Abdul, said, hey, I really, really, really want to go home. I haven't been home in years, and have a hungry desire to go home. I really want to go back to Barbados. So Abdul said, you are in Barbados. Okay, let's go back. He said, you are in Barbados. Neville said, I'm in Barbados. He said, yes, you are in Barbados. Again, Abdul's teaching him that you already have what you want. Again, you have what you already want. And again, I'm talking to you as I'm talking to me. You already have what you desire for it. So anyway, Abdul was teaching Neville that type of concept and to imagine. And it's a feeling. You have a deep feeling of that type of vibration, frequency. Anyway, Neville began to believe, he had some times where he didn't think, it would happen, or he didn't see anything. But several weeks and months, he began to feel that he was in Barbados. And you start to begin to see New York from the eyes of Barbados, seeing it from the perspective of being in Barbados. So he began to see it being Barbados being, or he see New York from the eyes of Barbados. So he see New York north of him, northwest or whatever, northeast, whatever direction it is on the map. He began to see New York from Barbados, and that's a key concept there, because if you put yourself into the perspective of that you are at the goal, so you already see the goal. The goal is bam there. You have the goal. The goal is I want to be this, I want to be that, I want to be this, that. Neville's goal was to get to Barbados to see his family. And again, I didn't tell you this part. He had no money at all. He had no money, not even a little bit. He had zero. And when he talked about this, and I think the talk in the discussion was the promise. He talks about three different segments. It's three different segments of the lecture. But in this segment, he talks about what I'm sharing about. So in this segment right here, he began to listen to Abdul. Abdul was teaching him how to be, how to feel, how to be in a desired state of being in Barbados. But again, let me take you back a little bit. So Neville began to, for this next couple of weeks, but after Abdul told him about it, he began to picture himself at the goal of Barbados. But he had some mishaps. A week or two before the day he had to go, before the last steamship or whatever boat to get him to the Virgin Islands to Barbados, he needed to make sure he leave on that last day, because that's the last day it was going to Barbados. And Neville began to panic a little bit. So he goes to Abdul, and he goes, I guess, to his house or wherever he does his study or wherever he takes his meetings. He said, Abdul, I got to go in a week or two, and nothing is happening. And, I don't see anything. And Abdul said, you are in Barbados. And he shut the door on him. So Neville's like, okay. The next day or two, Neville gets a postcard or some type of whatever mailage postage from his brother saying, hey, I'm going to pay for you to come home. I know you don't have no money, so it's no excuse for you not coming home and spending time with the family. Because I guess Neville's family, they have a big family, so they never together was all at home at one time once they grew up or something. So Neville's brother was saying, hey, I know you don't have any money, so it's no excuse that you can't come home. I know you're not working. So I'm going to send you some money. He sent him $50 and paid for Neville to get home on the steam yard or the steamship, whatever. And Neville's like, and he told Neville that with the $50, go get him whatever he needs, shoes, tie, suit, whatever you needed, toiletries, whatever you needed to get to the Virgin Islands, to Barbados. So Neville goes to the companies that he's going to ride on, and he showed them the letter, and they said, okay, we got the message from your brother, but we ran out of first class tickets. You have to travel third class. And Neville was like, okay, whatever, I just want to go home. So after that, Neville goes back to Abdul, and he said, Abdul, everything was working out. I got the ticket, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to Barbados, and I got to go third class or whatever. And Abdul looked down and was like, who said that you're going to Barbados? You are in Barbados and you went first class. And he said, no more. So the next day, Neville goes to, the next day or two, whenever the day that he's supposed to leave, he went to the place where he was going. And the person said that he was getting upgraded to first class. And he was like, wow, it worked. And he said he never questioned him after that. So again, he always used that method. Whew. Man, that was good talk. So basically what I'm trying to tell you guys is that in your mind, you have to use the imagery. You have to use the imagination to your capabilities. You have to use it to your own human imagination to fulfill your goals, your gifts, your talent. But you got to sustain it too. You got to practice. You don't have to do it, but it would be wise and it would be good implementation if you added some type of meditation, some type of mindfulness, some type of breathing, some type of ways to sustain it. Because it could be a lot of, once you get this type of like knowledge, it could be a lot, and it could be, rewarding as well. But you want to have to understand that you can get whatever you want, whatever goal. Like if you have a burning desire to be extremely healthy and extremely wealthy, you're already wealthy. You're already feeling healthy. You have to feel it. It's a feeling. We live in a feeling planet, a feeling universe, a feeling atmosphere. Everything is feeling. So Neville was teaching us, and through Abdul, that the feeling of imagining going to sleep that you're in Barbados, going to sleep knowing you're manifesting great wealth, going to sleep knowing you're manifesting great relationships, going to sleep manifesting different obstacles. Now, when I say obstacles, you might think, oh man, it's like a challenge. Obstacles to success, obstacles and course and pathways to success. And when you start to practice this type of philosophy, it can be really, vital to helping you achieve those goals. And another thing that we talked about during that time was like the human imagination. And when he was walking around New York City, he began to see Barbados. Like his eyes would see like the gold, the Barbados, the tropical islands, the skyscrapers in New York started to look like the skyscrapers at home. Things that look like, Barbados started to look in his eye in New York City. That was Barbados. So when we're talking about in the mind and inside the mindset, that's what we're talking about. What are you thinking about? What are you concentrate on? What you think about, you bring about. So Neville was bringing about Barbados, and he had a burning desire to go back home. And I felt like this was a good segue to start off, our first episode on Inside the Mind of Diesel Donow, because that's present right now, inside the mind. And then, like we're going to segue to different people that we're going to go into in their mindsets as well. I want to dive into Florence Scovel Shinn, Michael Bernard Beckwith, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, Dolores Cannon, Jesus the Christ, Yeshua, Chris Harrison, my cousin, who very brilliant mind, and he has a very unique mindset. Kyrie Irving's, just different beings that I just want to tap into their mindset, and we're going to go through, their mind and what they're about, and I just feel like that Neville one was very vital because that's the one that's very present. You know, you have to live as the wish is already fulfilled. We have to live at the end of the goal. That's a message from that concept. Live in the end of the goal. Place yourself as if you are already that abundant being that you are. Place yourself as you're healed. Place yourself as you're in this state. Place yourself as if everything you need comes on time. Place yourself in that place that the goal is already done. Now, it just has to manifest, I guess, in the external world. But internally, it starts internally. And once it's internally unlocked, then externally it's going to come. Internal reflects your outer experience. And, when we talk about the mind, who inspired me, a lot. What started, like, I always had inspiration with the mind, but really who inspired a lot of it, who helped, was my homie John Ballard and Jonas Ballard. Those are the two that really got me in the, like, I was in the mind before, but like in mindset, like I always had the mindset, but like the different principles and different ways of segues, different modalities of the mindset, just different perspective of it. And so it led me to, learning about all these different beings I'm talking about now. And that's why I wanted it to bring it to a platform with Dave and Steve on their beautiful platform that we can bring this type of inspiration, bring this type of motivation intrinsically and extrinsically. You need both forces to help with the mindset. You need intrinsic motivation and purpose type of inspiration. You need that extrinsic on those days where you need to get up. Like it's just like low hanging fruit. So if someone said, "Oh man, you're not good," that might just help you push over. Really, it's yourself telling yourself that. But that's another day. But anyway, sometimes you get it from external forces. Someone say you might not be able to jump this high. You might not be able to move this quick, or you might not be able to do something. Or you might not be able to accomplish what you want to accomplish. But you already accomplished your goal. If you practice the wish, the desired state is already done. You live at the end of the goal. It's already done. You just have to just trust. You don't have to lift a finger. Yes, you do have to do alignment and call to action, but you don't have to. Everything comes to you when you're ready. The teacher meets the student when the student calls for the teacher. Again, the student meets the teacher when the teacher is ready as well. When the student's ready and the teacher's ready. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, and we're going to dive into Kobe Bryant's mind probably next episode or two, because that's my guy. I got to talk about my man Kobe. Anyway, Kobe Bryant's mindset. Student, teacher. Michael Jordan was the teacher. Kobe Bryant was the student. And Kobe Bryant wanted that Michael Jordan type of inspiration, because Michael Jordan was the best. And Kobe Bryant was determined to be the best. And, so he wanted to pick up Michael Jordan's, moves, what he thought, how he worked out, how he studied. So Kobe Bryant really got into like that mindset of learning how to be like Michael Jordan. And he built a mentorship relationship with Michael Jordan and ended up becoming like a little brother to him. Michael Jordan's like a big brother to him. So, which helped his mindset. He ended up becoming one of the best players, that ever came. And that's the point. Like when you help the next generation, you want them to become better so they can share their knowledge. Like the training, the stuff that took you years to learn, you teach it earlier to the next generation, and then they teach it to the next generation, and then the inspiration always follows that. And inside the mind is like, why we call it the show Inside the Mind, because internal, like, let's go inside people's mindsets. Like, why do you think that way? Like, why do you think the way you think? Did you learn from someone? Did you learn bad habits? We all learned picked up somebody's habits, who picked up, habits. And you pick up things from watching other people, or, the environment you were brought in. But it's ways that you can fix that and, get in alignment to good. So when you understand that, it's like, wow, like it gets better and better. I think that's enough for today. I think that's enough. I think that left you guys with some good clues, good things. It's going to help you get inside, the mind of yourself, and that work you're at and the environment you're at. Man, I just love doing this. I love talking. I love being able to share and send some feedback. Send some, different questions you might have, or if you have any, just put them on the comments. And I'm looking forward to introducing you all to inside the mind of Diesel, inside the mind of some of the muses I have, and some of the people that inspire me, and bringing some guests and some interviewees here on. And that's the fun part. I just can't wait to pick the brain of, like, I can't even imagine, like, just people that I can't wait to just touch. And so I'm so excited that you all took your time out to watch this first episode. I'm looking forward to creating with you all. I'm looking forward to constructing, building, blocks of inspiration for you all, and helping you get to where you need to go on your journey and your voyage. Make sure you check out the website, www.dieseldonow.com. We have a blog center, where I call it the blog cage, where it's your inspirational cage of knowledge. Again, we're talking about different people that I was inspired by. Like, if you go through the articles, you'll see, it's a whole different platform that we talk about inspiration and motivation and stuff like that. And I'm looking forward to growing, expanding, and being with you all again. All right, I'll see you guys later. Appreciate you, and let's all have a good rest of your day. Namaste.